America over there. And so I think the biggest thing going on with a lot of American deaths in Iraq is from the Jews themselves. They're over there with the snipers killing Americans. They're all aliens, bad angels. Yeah, if they were standing angels, they would be in heaven with the Most High. But they're aliens. They're cast out of heaven. They live in the first and second heavens. And who is the prince and power of the air? It's Satan. And so, yeah, they're all bad. I mean, I take a lot of flack for this, folks, but I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a good fallen angel. Do you think the TV is having to tell more truth than they want because people go to the shows like yours and they're scared we're waking up? Definitely. Definitely. You know what really got me ticked off yesterday? I was at the grocery store, and I was standing in line waiting to pay for groceries. I'd get out, and I was looking at the National Enquirer, and, the CIA owns the National Enquirer. I said that years ago, and then there was an article out the other day showing the connection of how the CIA owns the National Enquirer. And they were blasting Rosie O'Donnell. They were saying she's a mental case and having a mental breakdown, and they had this, horrid picture of Rosie O'Donnell. And, if you haven't been paying attention, Rosie's recently quit The View and is tired of the censorship because she can't talk about the truth about what happened behind 911 and stuff. And so now they're attacking Rosie, calling her a mental case and stuff, because they know she's right on. And you know who else is coming out and speaking about stuff is Roseanne Barr. That's why my hats are off to these ladies. They're taking on the establishment, and they know full well they're taking on the establishment. Look what happens when you take on the establishment. I mean, we've had patriots thrown in prison on trumped-up charges by our government just to shut them up, get rid of them. Like Mark Kordick spent years in prison just so they could take over his Patriot Radio network. They killed William Cooper. They killed Phil Schneider. Other people have suffered, debilitating accidents, almost life-ending. Brant, a good friend of mine, run over by a car years ago, hit on his bike. And you know what? It never ends. It never ends. I mean, I've suffered pulse weapon attacks from satellites hitting my own house. I've had several assassination attempts that I've just walked away from. I mean, can you imagine a hit of not one but two pulse weapons from satellite weapons? And you know what? I walked away unscathed. It's like, what's that loud noise? What's hitting the house? It shook the whole house. But there was not one burn mark. There was not one mark on my house. I was just left wondering what the heck was going on. And here was pulse beam weapons. They couldn't kill me on the road. They'd already tried that one. I was at a dead stop in the middle of the road waiting to make a left-hand turn. Somebody came up behind me going 65, 70 miles an hour and slammed right into me. And it was a nice day. There was a flat half a mile east clear distance, and so they never saw me. And I know darn well what they just erased my vehicle off the road with their weapons so that the guy couldn't see me. It's part of their theatrics. I said he never saw me, and it was a nice day out, folks. And I walked away without a scratch. They've set up store robberies where they'll walk in. Person they want to take out, and they'll fake a robbery. They'll rob a store and have a fake robbery and then shoot the person standing there that their intended target. They'll shoot. So it looks like they were killed in a bad robbery attempt or something. And the Lord had even pointed out to me the person who was in town to pull off this false robbery. And so they've tried many things. And I'm still here. They messed with my websites. And you know what? It's just like, I can repost them for now. I can fix links they sabotage. I can upload pictures they've taken down, upload codes they've taken down. But eventually all this is going to come to an end to where there's going to be no internet, folks. And so start preparing now. Don't wait till it's too late to stock up on food and water and prepare someplace to go. So when the Chinese and the Germans and the Russians are going door to door to pull Americans out of their homes and load them up into trucks and buses and head them to concentration death camps, that you'll have some place to run. Because these things are coming. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go house to house and just load people up. Question from a reader. You said on several that all the aliens are fallen angels. Yes, well, Peggy Can, woman whom you agreed with, says the Nordics, Pleiadians are going to come in masses to help us. Peggy, Kate, and I are good friends. We always agree to disagree when we disagree, and we disagree a lot more than we agree. Uh, if that makes sense. Uh, she does reverse speaking. Very good at that. I do Bible code research, and we just disagree on that. She tends to believe that they're all friendly because they hate the New World Order. And I've had contact with these Nordics, and I'm going to tell you, these people, these aliens, just because they hate the New World Order doesn't mean they're on our side. It means that they hate the New World Order. They have their own agenda for Earth. And the Lord's already told me that these human agencies, federal agencies that work with these aliens, are going to be betrayed by them. And so this COM3 and these other agencies that I think that this James Casbolt is involved with, because I ran into a similar situation years ago, because they have these super secret organizations, and I think it's called COM3 or COM12, COM4. They go by several different names and several different organizations. But they're half human and half of these Nordics and Pleiadians that are working together to destroy the New World Order. But you know what? Satan's just running controlled opposition here, folks. He's just running controlled opposition. And these humans that are working with these aliens who are supposedly helping them are going to end up being betrayed by them. And so, I don't know how many times I can warn people about that. I mean, people want to believe the best. And it's like, you don't want to dwell on negativity all the time. It could drive you completely insane. But you also want to live in reality. Otherwise, you're just going to end up being deceived and killed and died by the people you trusted. So, seek the Lord on it, because every time I've asked him about this friendly alien thing, he has led me to the same things over and over and over again. They all have their own agendas. It's just controlled opposition. They're just playing with humanity. And so, seek him yourself, folks. He's not going to tell me anything different than he'll tell you. Will we have any warning to flee to the hills before the final plunge? I think you'll know when to flee to the hills. When you start seeing people disappearing, people dying, or thrown in jail even, because they're activists, big mouths, when Maitreya arrives in the Middle East, whichever one comes first, because I really don't think there's going to be a huge first contact thing in Salt Lake. I don't think that'll ever happen. But if it does, we're ready. But if it doesn't, I mean, the first thing I've always been more prone and focused to look at is the arrival of Maitreya in the Middle East and leading the Muslims and the Chinese in a world war against everybody else. And so he is going to align himself with the Chinese army, folks. And I don't think anybody's prepared for that. He's going to. He is going to align himself with them. And so we're going to have a Southern Arab army along with the Chinese Red Army aligned in an alliance to destroy America and Europe. And, once you see Maitreya come to Earth, run. Get ready to run, because he is just going to put the entire world into a huge war. And his wrath and his targets are America. And so be prepared for that. And even Iran, all the time talking about their imam who's coming, their Mahdi, their 12th Mahdi, the 12th imam. And so just keep your eyes on the Middle East. What should our attitude and preparation be? Well, just ask the Lord what it is you need to stock, what it is you need to do. I know he's leading a lot of people to get mobile, to sell their homes, sell their properties, rent places so that they can just leave them when they have to at a moment's notice. I would be buying land somewhere middle America with mountains, with caves, get into the mountains. That's what I'd be looking for, is a land where I could dig out a cave or get underground or get high up. So that's, just ask him to lead you.